Come say hello, son. Look in there. Go on, tell everybody who you are. Look in the camera there.
Hello, everybody.
And what's your name?
My name is Joshua. That's Yomi Day.
Alrighty. Yes, this is my young budding YouTuber. So ask him to come say hey. And you've had dinner already?
Yes, Dad.
Alright, well that's good, son. You go on and let Daddy finish his videos. And we'll talk soon. Or you want to say hello, welcome to Daddy's channel.
Welcome to Daddy's channel.
I'm so happy to see you.
We're so happy to see you.
Hello and welcome to my channel. It's great to see you back here. And that is something I don't do actually. See, you can still learn from your kids. My name is Roland, for those of you who are new to my channel. And I hope you like my particular brand of content. I mainly do sit down. I want to say it's not quite conversational because I'm not really speaking to anyone in real time, but I'd like to think that I'm speaking to you on some level or touching something that you wish somebody had said somewhere. And the main goal of this whole thing is to sort of have a place where you can come and switch off from the ills of the world and just relax and take it easy. And to those of you visiting, coming back again, I thank you for returning. You honor me with your time and your presence. So please also take that extra step for all of you who haven't yet and honor me with your subscribing and your liking and your commenting. I'm still growing in this, which I guess is my new hobby. I was asked once in a potential interview, you know, what kind of hobbies I have outside of work. It's the kind of question I haven't received for so long. And I said to them, well, I mean, I have kids, so there's that. I don't really do much more. But I realized that this is a hobby, and I'm hoping that I can stick with it because I enjoy it, and I enjoy knowing that people appreciate what I do. So one of the reasons that I've allowed that's my oldest to come on the channel is because I did want to talk on a couple of things surrounding kids that I think present a challenge, or one of the things that present a challenge to parents in general. So there's when you feel like your kids are going faster than you would like them to, whether it's because you think they're going faster than they should, or just going faster than you feel that you need them to go so you can protect them as much as you want to. And also there is a point where I guess our kids take over from us. I was trying not to ask to say that like a question, because there's this recent thing where people talking questions and everything ends like that, and somewhere along the line my kids are beginning to pick that up, so I really need to get it out of them. So I'll say that again. It was just to say, when your kids surpass you, and really as a parent, that's what you want for your kids, because they have the advantage of you and your experiences and just what's going on in their world. Their world is more advanced than yours. So the positive outcome would be that if you've done your job right, you should be able to rise them above you. Now I guess the difference is, or the challenge is, when is that supposed to happen? Is it supposed to be when they've just started out, or is it supposed to be when they get their first job? When do you start feeling like, okay, this kid's way past me? I mean, I guess when they're learning in school, you're able to teach them a lot until a certain point where you just don't know. So before I start going into weird Bible territory, I'll give you the specific of what made me think about this. So during the various lockdowns and when the kids were learning, we enabled them to have their own accounts, their own Google accounts, so they could get onto things like YouTube videos that the school was giving and things like that. And we were lucky enough to secure these Chromebooks, which I may have mentioned. We got them one of these sort of reconditioned sites. So if you're looking for something like that for your kids, I believe they're still around. If you're in the UK, I got mine through Voucher, but I think there's various outlets where you can get these reconditioned Chromebooks. So, when we watch YouTube videos in my house, we tend to watch it on the big screen, so it's all family friendly and the boys can see. And specifically, we started that because I really wanted the boys to be able to see other black boys doing things. Didn't matter anything specific, wasn't particularly educational or anything like that. And also black parents just doing regular parenting things. And I must remember to I'll digress a bit now and say that here in the UK, and I guess it's an extension of what's been going on with the Me Too movement. So I'm recording this in May of 2021, and a lot of you would know that I think 2 or 3 years ago there was a movement to highlight and try to eradicate thereby the mistreatment, mishandling, the preying on, the criminal acts that were perpetrated on women, or mostly women. I'm told I have to say that, but on women by what would have been people in a place of influence and power. And that whole movement was called Me Too, and that's still going on now. Although I think a lot of us were hoping that by this time we've weaved out all those bad elements and we're in a place where, everyone is being treated with some level of respect in the office. Now, obviously, it's a crime. There are things you just will never get rid of. There will always be people in a place of influence and power who would seek to prey on those that aren't. But why I've mentioned it is that very recently in the UK, there was a young black, actor, director, producer, etc., who's had allegations leveled against him. And I mention the blackness just because for black families in non-black countries, one of the major challenges we have is showing our kids good role models. Obviously, as parents, we do our best to be that person we can say, look at me, I'll show you the way. And for the most part we do. And I've been lucky that in my circle of friends, my young boys can see, working mom and dads that are improving themselves and living life, not with the stereotypes that you usually hear. But it is nice to be able to, as they're growing up, they say, look at that gentleman. He's living his life. He's doing all the good things he should do. He's improving himself without getting himself into any trouble and things like that. So it's always a bit sad when one of these would-be influencers, I guess is the best word, turns out to fall short of this. You don't expect them to be perfect, but at least in their professional lives, just be professional. Nobody's asking you to be a priest or anything, but but unfortunately, I mean, at this point, we're talking allegations. So far as I know, there's no criminal charges, I guess. So that's why I haven't mentioned who the person is. I'm sure anyone watching this within the next few months would know who I'm talking about, what's happening, or even now. But just wanted to say that's a thing that's a worry. And even for adults, I'm sure that when there's somebody that you, I won't say look up to because you're grown just like them. You know, I'm probably older than this particular guy, but maybe you respect them in their professions, and you look at your children and think, okay, there's somebody I can show. Look at how this guy has done it. You know, you can take him as a kind of example. But when they fall short of just regular standards, you know, it's so disappointing. It is, and so it's just from that point of view, it's just like one less person I can say to the guy, look, you see, there are black folks doing good things all over the place here. Now, obviously, if you're living in a black country, the good, the bad, and the ugly are all black, so you know, they see all of that. But let me not digress too much. So let me just say that, you know, we watch YouTube videos sometimes as a family, but it's on. That's where it is. And obviously, he's now seen me starting this sort of thing, but he's found a camera on his Chromebook, and he started just, you know, teaching himself to film himself and this sort of thing. So that's where I started to think, gosh, I didn't show him that, but he has an aptitude already to sort of tap around, and he knows that, oh well, if I see this icon, I double click on it, it means it must open something. I understand what a play button is, you know. So I might have shown him that, okay, if you know, this is a play symbol or something like that, but it's just like my parents wouldn't have shown me what to do on a video, but instinctively I would know that, right, the cassette goes in here, and you know, this sort of thing. So that would have come natural to me. So there's a point where you think, oh, I didn't teach him that, and that happens quite a lot, you know. So, you know, I asked his mom, did you show him that? Like, no, I didn't show him that. So then you just realize that I suppose the parents have to decide, do they dial back their progress? Maybe they feel they're just moving too fast anyway. Young kids should be making videos of themselves anyway. Or do you run with them so you can just control what they're doing and making sure they're not, I mean, it's quite harmless if they're just doing it at home, but maybe make sure they're not liking to film themselves too much, you know, that going into narcissism and things like that. But imagine our surprise when my boy Joshua that you just met announces that, oh, I've just uploaded my video to YouTube. Now that's when his mother and I tried to do some kind of telepathic talking to each other, like, did you know about this? Do you know what he's talking about? It's like, no, with somebody, you better go check it out, you know, because I have all the equipment now. In theory, I'm thinking, well, I haven't filmed him, I haven't put him anywhere, but of course when I check his laptop, I say, oh, show me your video. He has indeed uploaded, just because on all or most, if not all, of these software, there is an option to save or share on YouTube. Now luckily it has all the safeguards in place because you know, his age on his account and such like, so it just becomes a place to put your video, but it's all private, you know, all of this. However, it is still, it was a bit scary because obviously he's now out there. Now it may not be, I might think, oh well, it's not like he's gonna share this with anyone because it's all private, but I don't know. Just because I didn't teach him, I now realize that these things could happen without my intervention, so I have to now work harder to either say, okay, right, that's it, I'm locking off all of those apps, or say, look, this is his world, so I just need to step up and pay more attention and monitor faster. So this, I opted to go for the latter. So I just commented on the video as in the description to say, okay, this is my boy doing his thing. He's just babbling on about something that, you know, a 6-year-old would. But I've put it out there and I let him see himself on how we watch it on TV. So it's live. And we've just left that be for now, so I can monitor his channel, see what goes up, and there are now 2 videos up. Of course, the next thing I have to think about now is that because he knows people like and subscribe and comment, I've liked it, Mrs. has liked it, that sort of thing. But he recently commented, oh, nobody's commented on my channel, and obviously the comments are off because they're off by default, and I'm not going to turn them on. Obviously there are quite a lot of mean folks out there, so until I know that I can monitor all that comes in and filter the bad ones out on a regular basis, but I think I'm just not there yet, really. And I suppose there's also an element of, okay, slow your roll a little bit, son. Your dad has to adjust to your speed, and it did make me think that I guess there are a lot of parents who start to wonder or worry that their kids just don't need them anymore. You see this on some TV programs sometimes when they say, oh, they're growing up so fast, guess you don't need your old mom anymore. I suppose it tends to be mom. I guess traditionally dads tend to sort of be the focal, I don't know what the word is, more present. I might edit this out, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm trying to say, I think in my experience and what I've seen, a lot of the times the relationship with the dad tends to get stronger, at least with boys when they grow older, because now the dad wants to show them how to be a man, and that's who the son will look up to, this kind of thing. Although traditionally you hear about daddy's girls, or dads getting closer to their dads, but presumably they'll look at their mom to see how to be a woman. So I'm not going to go into much detail about that, but I guess it's just to say that from what I've seen and from what others have said, don't worry, your kids will always need you, they'll always need your ear, and don't worry about them surpassing you with what you can teach them and how you can guide them. Just accept it's gonna happen. But it's okay, you'll be fine, we'll all be fine. As long as you keep interested, you'll learn from them, and you'll guide them that way. But it is kind of scary, and it's just another one of those things we just have to navigate. But the main thing is not to worry about it. You're still relevant. But yeah, just be checking out YouTube if your kids are anything like mine. So I'm gonna stop there. I realize with these sort of sharing, it's very easy to go on a bit, but I hope you've enjoyed this episode as well. So just like, subscribe if you haven't done all those, hit the bell icon, and you take care wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Have a great night, have a great week, have a great month, have a great year. But don't worry, you won't have to wait too long to see me again. Catch me on my next episode.